interested to know what is the distribution of power in Haiti, because it seems like this complicated and uneven arrangement between concentrated oligarchy of between I read somewhere maybe 20 to 29 families in Haiti control its economic decision making and policy setting and direction and all of that. And you have a whole bunch of powerful gangs in the mix, which exercise a lot of control in urban areas. And you have all of these organizations and actors determining the agenda of the state, and all venal and self-interested and not really serving the Haitian people. So, well, yeah, what is the composition of Haiti's as ruling class, and how does power work?
I mean, I think that's a great question. Yeah, a very small number of families control very much about Haiti. And you know, I think that there are a couple of things that are I mean, you have an enormous wealth inequality. You have an oligarchy. You have gangs that arguably Moise empowered to kind of do his bidding or something like that in a lot of the poor areas. And then they kind of became out of his control. He couldn't really control them. But I think that you have a lot, in other words, that's kind of extra statal, a lot that's extrajudicial. And that's because Haiti's institutions, it's the institutions that are supposed to be legitimate, democratically legitimate and accountable to people are really hollowed out now. And you can't really get much done. And then you have, I mean, on top of that, I think we would be remiss if we didn't kind of consider the role that the United States has played, especially the United States, but to an extent also Canada and France in subverting Haiti's democracy over the past 30 years. You know, a Haitian leader really historically has had to serve, you know, you think that they're supposed to be accountable to the population that elects them, but it turns out that they're also mostly very accountable to the United States, especially.